Hi and welcome. In this class we are only focusing on preparing your body for a wheel pose. So you will perhaps need some equipment. If you don't have it, don't worry, it's not necessary, but I do recommend a strap, or if you have a belt or even a t-shirt, anything that can give you resistance between your hands, and blocks, 2 of them if you have, or anything else that can give you a little bit of height that is about this high. Okay, so it can be a box or a little stool or something that's hard, not something soft like a cushion maybe. Anyway, we're gonna start with the strap or the belt. So just preparing and opening the shoulders a bit here. Grab the strap wider than shoulder distance, most likely for most of you, and without splaying the ribs out. So right now we are only preparing and opening the shoulders. Reach the strap overhead and then let the arms go behind you. Keep the ribs closed in. You might have to slide your hands further out of the strap, which is fine. We're going to bring it all the way down to the floor. So I'm going to go sideways here just so you can see. Now that we come back up, be aware of the back arching and the ribs playing out. So ribs in. Keep the shoulders working and opening here. Maybe pause at that place that feels extra tight, and then come all the way forward and down. We'll do 2 more of those. Arms up, work with the breath here. Let's go really slowly. And when you get to that point where it feels super extra tight, pause and take a breath or 2 in, and then move slowly past and bring the arms down. And we come straight back up. Open, open, opening the shoulders and chest. And then reach the hands down. We go 1 more. All the way up. All the way back. Then down. And up. And forwards. And down. Nice. Bring the arms up overhead again. This time bend the elbows so the strap is behind the back of your head. And we're going to reach the strap away from the back of the head. So the elbow stays bent here. Here, let's lift the chest. Let the back arch a little bit. But think more about the chest lifting than the spine arching. Gaze up. Reach the strap away from you. Take a couple breaths in. And then bring the strap up and overhead and then back and down. Let's get rid of this. Put it to the side. Come onto hands and knees. Moving through just a few cat-cows here. Inhale to arch. Lift the chest, look forward. And exhale to curve the spine, look towards the belly button. Breath in to arch, pull the shoulders away from the ears here, so the neck is long. And then exhale, push the floor with your hands, so the neck is short. 2 more times, inhale. Lift the sit bones to the sky as well. And exhale, tuck the tailbone under. Again. Warming up the spine and the muscles around the back. Come to neutral spine, sink the hips towards the heels. Walk your hands forward a little bit. We're gonna build on that movement with some ripples here. So drop the head to the floor. With the inhale this time, you're gonna lift the hips off the heels, curve the spine. Come all the way forward and start to drop the hips, unravel yourself into an upward facing dog. Shoulders back and down. Look forward, maybe look up, take a breath in. And then we arch our spine back, so lift the hips, but keep the sit bones up. And then melt your way back into a child's pose. Drop the head to the floor. Again, coming up, curving the spine, inhale. Exhale to start to unravel, dropping the hips, rolling the shoulders back and down. Inhale into your back bend. And exhale through your arch back, melt your torso over your legs. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, drop and unravel. Inhale to expand, grow longer. And exhale, come back to a child's pose. We go 1 more. Inhale, curve. Exhale, drop. Inhale, grow long. And exhale, come back. Hips to the heels and drop. From here, we're just gonna slide the body onto the floor. So put your belly down, stretch your legs out long. Moving into a shoulder stretch here to open up the front of the shoulders. Again, lots of shoulder openers. So the right arm comes out like a cactus here. So make sure there's a 90-degree angle from your shoulder to elbow to your hand. And if that feels too intense for you once we get into the position, you can stretch that arm out. It's gonna ease up a little bit of the tension or the pressure. But just make sure this arm is not down here, it's not up here, it's straight out to the side. Okay, from here, the right cheek goes to the floor. Bend your left leg and then peel your left side body up and over for your shoulder opener. Here, I like to bend in my right knee and move my tippy toes to the floor behind me. If you have the space, you can reach your left arm to the sky and let that arm bind behind your back. Take some deep breaths into this shoulder and chest opener here. Three more deep breaths. Try to open that left knee up to the sky if you can. Just to tilt the hips open as well here. It's going to help opening up in the shoulder. And then release back to your belly. Let's set ourselves up to the other side. Left arm goes out like a cactus, or if that was way too much, you stretch that arm straight out from your shoulder. Left cheek to the floor. Let's peel the right side body off the floor and then bend. I like to bend this knee in. It just gives me a bit more support here in the stretch. Open the right arm to the sky and maybe bind it behind your back. Finding some deep breaths here. And then release, come back onto your belly. Let's move into an upward facing dog. Push into the hands, lift the thighs off the floor, take a deep breath in. And then put the knees down, find your tabletop. We're moving the right leg forward for a lunge stretch. So in our wheel pose, it's not just the shoulders and chest that needs to be open, but we also want to open up our hip flexors. So that's what this position is for. So let's come into a little side bend, right fingertips down, left arm up and overhead. And then lean back a little bit here, so you're not so much forward. I want you to try to go straight to the side or even a little lift of the chest into a slight back bend. And really feel how that targets the hip flexors. Now we're going to do an open rotation, open the arm towards the back, let it circle all the way down to the floor. Find the hands to the floor, put your right leg back, place your left leg forward. Let's do the other side. Finding your lunge first and then reach your right fingertips up and overhead. And see if you can find a little bit of a rotation so the chest is open towards the ceiling here. Lifting the chest. And then actively reaching the right arm up and over so that this arm is not dying up here. It is reaching, reaching, reaching. And then continue this circle with the right arm, open rotation all the way around and down to the floor. Step your left leg back. Moving into Anahastasana, which is sort of a back bend. I'm going to show you a couple variations, one with blocks and one without the blocks. So let's do that without the blocks first. So the hips are going to stay over the knees, the arms reaches forward, and the belly is going to move towards the thighs as the forehead drops to the floor. Now this is going to open into your shoulders. If you feel like you have quite a lot of space, you can lift the forehead and look forward, put the chin to the floor. I like to personally, when I do that, slide my hands a little bit forward so that I can also drop my chest down. So it's quite an intense opening of the shoulders. Now stay there if you don't have blocks. If you do have blocks, I'm going to place them shoulder width apart underneath your hands. And then drop your elbows to the blocks. Place the palms together, and you're going to do the same thing, but this time the prayer comes towards your the top of your neck or the bottom of your neck. So if you have a bit of pinchy shoulders, this might not be a good option for you. But for those of you that can handle this one, take a few breaths here. Personally, my shoulders are too pinchy for that one, but it is really good if you don't have pinchy shoulders, so definitely stay there if you can. I'm going to move back into my Anahastasana here with arms straight. And take 3 more breaths. And then push the hands into the floor or the elbows into the blocks. Come back up. And we are officially ready to try our wheel pose. I'm gonna show you a variation that might help you. If you're struggling with opening up in the shoulders, this one might help you. And it's actually, I don't have a wall here, but it is actually better if the blocks are on the diagonal here on the wall, like this. Okay, so I went and got another pair of blocks so I can demonstrate with the angle. So from here, these blocks, it might be good to put them up against the wall and preferably on one of those skirting boards so that it's not going to slip off. This just gives a little bit more leeway for the wrists, okay? And then you can potentially open up a bit more in the shoulders too. So I'm going to put my fingertips off the blocks and the heel on my hands on the blocks. So my wrists are not in such an acute angle here. They do have a little bit of a support from the blocks. Hug the elbows in. Start by lifting the hips. Push into the feet. Maybe just come onto the top of your head to start with, so that you can rearrange your shoulders, rearrange your hands, and then start to push into the hands. Once you're up here, see if you can stretch your elbows first of all as much as you can, and then I want you to push into your feet to bring the chest forward in between the elbows a little bit further, and then gaze down in between the hands if you can. Now obviously this is a work in progress, but we are aiming, if you're up against the wall here, to get the chest closer and closer to the wall. That will open up in the shoulders a bit more. And then you can come down. Stick with that variation if that felt good for your shoulders. Another thing that might be nice, if you're struggling with getting the shoulders stacked over the wrists, is to put your feet on blocks, okay? So, or something that is a bit elevated, it doesn't have to be blocks. Now I'm gonna put my blocks hip width apart, slide my butt as close as I can to my blocks, and place my feet on top. Now this gives me a little bit more of an up and over feeling once I come up into my back bend. So I place my hands by my shoulders, again starting with lifting my hips and maybe coming up to the top of my head to rearrange. Now it's a bit heavier for the arms to push from here. So depending on the strength of your shoulders, this might be a struggle or it might feel okay. But once you're up there, it's easier for the shoulders to open because the hips are higher up. So if it feels like your hands and your feet are very far away, you can walk the hands a little bit closer to the feet. Just try as much as you can to stack the shoulders over the wrists. And then maybe try to squeeze the glutes, lift the chest so the chest is facing the floor, and look between your hands. And then slowly coming down. Make sure you tuck your chin to your chest on your way down so you don't land on the top of your head. Okay, those were my block variations. And of course, the last variation is to do your wheel as normal with your hands and your feet on the floor. So let's try that just to feel the difference as well. Bring the feet close to your hips. So they should be so close that your fingertips can touch the back of your heels. Place the hands by your ears. Make sure the elbows are hugging in, they're not splaying out wide. Lift the hips and really engage the glutes here so it's not just the lower back working. Squeeze your glutes on. As you now lift yourself up, if you're able to stretch the elbows, an adjustment you can make here is to squeeze the glutes more so you open up the hip flexors, and then feel that ripple of the spine all the way up to the chest and to the top of the neck. So the chest wants to come through the shoulders and then project down towards the floor, and the eyes looking in between the hands. And then you can start or keep moving the chest past the shoulders here. And then coming down. So you're basically pushing into the feet to bring your shoulders, or to try to get your shoulders stacked over your wrists as much as possible. That's going to take a bit of mobility to get there because it does require quite a lot of extension with the arms overhead. But once you have that, or if you have the ability to go there, it's also going to take a lot of strain off of the wrist because your shoulders will be stacked right over the wrist. And there you have a bit more stability as well if you want to do your leg lifts or any other variations that you are working towards. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps, and let me know how you go. I would love to see your progression as well. And other than that, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!